Welcome everyone to the Hungaroring. It's round 6 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Apologies for this small delay, but the green flag is now waving. Qualifying is about to get underway. My name's Chris McCarthy. It's a pleasure to have your company as ever on what is a beautiful morning here at the Hungaroring. It's our first ever visit here as a championship, and that means a lot of the drivers are visiting the circuit here for the first time. Around 25 drivers of the 33 on the grid will be making their debut here this weekend. So an open field, as pretty much open as it was as when we went to Monaco, and that's what a lot of the drivers have been saying throughout the weekend. Okay, some driver changes to clear up before we start getting times on the board. You would have seen the RPM car. They are the orange and green car. There's been some changes in that team. We'll start with Owen Tangavelo. He parted ways with G4 Racing. He has now joined RPM, so he is going to be in the orange and green colours this weekend. He is going to be in the number 65 car. He replaces Keith Donegan, who has stepped aside and focused on his role as team manager. Also joining RPM for this weekend is Andrea Rosso. A warm welcome back to Andrea Rosso. He raced with us last season, got a best result of 5th at Paul Ricard. He hung up his crash helmet earlier this year, but he is back. He's going to be out there in this group in the number 75. Sadly, at MP Motorsport, no Delano Vanthoff. He's still suffering with injury after the surgery to his collarbone. Michael Belov will not be racing this weekend due to personal reasons. Francesco Braschi has decided to step across from KIC Motorsport and fill the seat of Delano Vanthoff, so he will be in the all-orange colours this weekend. He will be in that number 77 car. And also, sadly, we will have no Han Chen Yu this weekend. He has tested positive for COVID-19, so we wish him all the best, and we look forward to seeing him back at Spa. So that leaves 33 drivers on the grid for this weekend. It means G4 Racing, KIC, MP and Monolite will all be running 2 cars due to the changes above. And as I said, around 25 of the drivers making their debuts here this weekend. Okay, I think that just about clears everything up. We had a really interesting day of testing yesterday. 2 rookies going 1st and 2nd. Esteban Masson was quickest overall. The reigning French F4 champion in the FA racing car went quickest overall. He scored no points yet this season. He was quickest from Sami Megatunif in the afternoon, with Gabriele Mini in 3rd place. So could we see some mixed results? Now, if you're new to Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, first of all, a warm welcome to you. We split the drivers into 2 groups due to the amount of them that we had. This is Group A. It is split by championship position. The drivers 1st, 3rd, 5th and so on in the championship go into Group A. The remaining drivers go into Group B. In Group number A, we have Dino Beganovic, Gabriele Mini, Kaz Havercourt, Mari Boyer, Leonardo Fornaroli, Tim Tramnitz, Lawrence Van Hoopen, Noel Leon, Sami Megatunif, Josh Dufek, Dudu Barrichello, Owen Tangavelo, Nico Baptiste, Francesco Braschi, Mateusz Zagazzetta, Piotr Wisnicki, and the returning Andrea Rosso. There he is, goes through shot very quickly. The quickest group overall will form the inside row of the grid. The slower group will form the outside row of the grid for the race later on. That's how it works. Noel Leon has gone quickest so far. They are just getting these tyres up to temperature. It takes a couple of laps to get the Pirelli tyres up to temperature. Driver saying to me yesterday that they might only get a couple of laps in the operating window to really go and set a time. So some drivers yesterday who might have been out of position overall in testing said, you know, I just didn't get my quickest lap in at the peak performance of the tyre. So this is going to be a really interesting one. There you can see Gabriele Mini in the number 46, runs 3rd in the championship overall. Beganovic currently leads the championship by 36 points ahead of his teammate Paul Aron, who took both wins and both pole positions last time out. Definitely going to be one to watch this weekend. There we can see the number 21 of Piotr Wisnicki making his way through the final couple of corners. And behind him, the RPM, there he is, Andrea Rosso returns to racing. Really excited to see how he goes. Finished 22nd yesterday afternoon. What a fantastic job. The RPM team were absolutely delighted with his performance and so impressed, given he hadn't been in a car for around 8 months. Gabriele Mini sets us off. It looks like this is going to be our first real flyers. The quickest time yesterday was a 1:39.419, so that gives us a benchmark time to aim for as Gabriele Mini makes his way downhill through turn 3. They make their way down the steep incline now and now climb back up towards turn number 4. This is where the drivers say the hardest part of the circuit is, through sector number 2. They come in towards turn number 5. Gabriele Mini going quickest through the first sector, but it's this section of the track that all the drivers say is the most difficult. Coming up towards 6 and 7, all the way through to turn 11, hugely difficult. Here we come now up towards turn number 8. They make their way back in towards turn number 9. You've got to get the car back across, run over the rumble strips, and now flat out through turn number 10, get the car back over to the left, and then fire it through turn number 11. Don't run too wide on the exit, otherwise you'll have your lap time deleted. Downhill, so easy to brake late in towards turn number 12 here, but Gabriele Mini got the car stopped just in time there as he comes now up towards 13. You can carry a lot of speed into this corner, uphill braking zone in towards turn number 14. When you're at the track, you really see quite an elevation climb it is through this corner, and then they make their way out the final corner. Gabriele Mini up to the line. Let's get some lap times on the board then. 1:40.251. That's a pretty good benchmark time to go with. Will we see anyone beat it? Van Hoopen, his teammate, has gone second. Mari Boyer has gone third, so it's an ART 1, 2, 3 for now. Wisnicki is fourth, Andrea Rosso goes fifth, but Sami Megatunev rather, has gone quickest through the second sector. Kaz Havercourt quickest through the first sector. We've got to keep an eye on those two. The MP Motorsport car of Sami Megatunev is flying, and the Van Amersfoort car of Kaz Havercourt is flying. I'm going to keep an eye on those. Sami Megatunev goes fastest. The MP Motorsport number 17 of Megatunev has gone fastest, but we've got to see Havercourt come across the line, and he goes quickest. 1:39.893. First driver to go sub 1:40 then, as Gabriele Mini goes quickest through the first sector. Owen Tangavelo went through to 5th place, now with RPM. Brilliant time there from the number 65. Van Hoopen is 6th place. Tim Tramnitz went up to 3rd. Boyer is 7th. Brasky with MP is now 8th. Dudu Barrichello, who was quick yesterday, he was in the top 10, 7th in the afternoon practice session. He's currently in 9th place. Noel Leon, who had some damage to his car and had an off subsequently in towards turn number 2, he's currently in the top 10. Beganovic up to 10th place. We watch Gabriele Mini coming through the final corner now. Looks like he's absolutely flying on this lap. Just under 6 minutes on the clock as they make their way up towards the line, and that looked like a brilliant time there from Gabriele Mini, and he goes quickest. 1:39.181. Van Hoopen up to 2nd, but Kaz Havercourt is improving. Sami Megatunev is improving as well, so we've got to keep an eye on those two. Here comes Tim Tramnitz. He put a good time on the board last time round. He goes 2nd. P2 for the German, but what about Megatunev there? What about Kaz Havercourt as well? Because they are going very quickly. Let's keep an eye on them as they make their way up towards the line. Megatunev currently in 10th, but I don't feel he'll be there for very long. He had a slow last sector, so Megatunev stays in 10th place. What about Kaz Havercourt? He's in 7th, he's in P1. Kaz Havercourt goes quickest, 1:39.136. Kaz Havercourt up to 5th in the championship. He's had 3 podiums in the last 3 races. A third at Monaco, he had a third at Imola, and then he had a 2nd at Monaco. Also had a second, he had a 2nd at Paul Ricard, a 2nd at Zandvoort, and a 3rd at Monaco. He's had an absolutely fantastic run in the last 3 rounds, is Kaz Havercourt. 45 thousandths back is Gabriele Mini. Less than a 10th back is Tim Tramnitz. The top 3 split by 1/10 of a second. Here's Dudu Barrichello. He's going well so far in this session. Within a second, but all the way down in 14th place. Here's the quickest driver so far. Josh Dufek up to 4th place. Leonardo Fornaroli is 5th. Let's go through your top 10 then. It's Havercourt from Mini, Tramnitz in 3rd, those 3 within a 10th. Then it's Dufek, who's just done a really quick time, 1:39.319 for him. Fornaroli is 5th, Beganovic is 6th, Van Hoopen is 7th, Boyer is 8th, Tangavelo 9th, Noel Leon rounds out the top 10 so far. Remember, this is the row of the grid they're going to start on. You want to really be on the top 10 on the grid, so Fornaroli currently would be on row number 5, would just about start inside the top 10. Dudi Barrichello improving on this lap. Let's see if we pick him up. He's done a personal best through sector 1, a personal best through sector 2. Kaz Havercourt on a slow lap, getting ready to go for a couple more. Doesn't look like anyone's going to come through pit lane. We're going to see them stay out for the entire session. Dudi Barrichello at the very top of screen in the all-red Arden car, behind Megatunov here in the orange. Here comes Barrichello in the 91. Doesn't go quicker, he's slowed down, and now he's going for another flying lap. So he slowed down through the last sector, backed off through there. Looked like everyone took a break, took a breather, gave the tyres a little bit of a break, and now we're going to go again. We pick up Gabriele Mini fighting with Havercourt and Tramnitz for pole position. Brilliant head-to-head going on here between the ART, the Van Amersfoort and the Trident teams. Gabriele Mini is going a little bit quicker on this lap, but is it quick enough to take that provisional pole position away from Havercourt? Yes, it might be. And Owen Tangavelo, the Frenchman, going really, really well through the first sector. We've got to keep an eye on that one. Gabriele Mini then, he's going to be the first to cross the line. Quickest time so far, 1:39.136. He makes his way through the final corner now, up towards the start-finish line we come. Gabriele Mini, can he go to provisional pole? Yes, he does, 1:38.891. What a lap time from the Italian, but they might change very quickly the lap times behind him. We've got to watch Owen Tangavelo, and here he is. He makes his way through the final corner now. Havercourt has come through the second sector. Doesn't look like he's going quicker than Mini. Owen Tangavelo currently in 9th, goes up to 6th place. Leonardo Fornaroli has just gone up to 2nd place. Kaz Havercourt is 3rd. Tim Tramnitz didn't improve, he stays 4th. Josh Dufek has had a slow first sector. He's building up for a quick last lap. Here comes Kaz Havercourt up to the line, currently in 3rd. Will he stay there? Yes, oh no, 1:38.655. Havercourt quickest. So Havercourt now to provisional pole position. Brilliant fight here, and he backs off, coming down towards turn number 1. I think that's all he's got left. And Kaz Havercourt goes to the top. Has a look round. How did I do that? Going quicker on this lap. Fornaroli is going quicker. Tramnitz is going quicker as well. And Kaz Havercourt to the top. Hasn't been on pole position ever in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. It would be a first if he could do it. And it looks like it could be on here. Sami Megatunov is going quicker on this lap, though. Tim Tramnitz is going quicker, as is Leonardo Fornaroli as well. Dino Beganovic has just come across the line and does not improve on 8th place, so he will start at best in 15th on the grid. The championship leader really, really struggling. He didn't have a good day in practice yesterday. Some people were questioning whether he was holding back, but Beganovic, not a good start to the day for him. A brilliant start to the day for Havercourt. A brilliant start to the day for Gabriele Mini, who was one of the drivers trying to chase down Dino Beganovic in the championship. In terms of points, he's 39 back from him. So he's got a real opportunity to close the gap to him this afternoon. But he's going to have to beat that man there, Kaz Havercourt. What a time. 1:38.655 is now the time to beat. The drivers in Group B will get ready to go out on circuit. And we make a note of that time now. Right, 1:38.655. That is the time to beat Kaz Havercourt. Absolutely fantastic lap time there For a minute, I didn't actually think he'd done it, but Kaz Havercourt, quickest by just under 2.5 tenths from Gabriele Mini. Josh Dufek rounding out an absolutely fantastic session there for the Van Amersfoort Racing team to go to 3rd place. There's still drivers improving. Dino Beganovic goes up to 6th place here. Right, it's not over yet, but it looks a bit. We've got drivers doing personal best. Do we have some times left for drivers here? The checkered flag is waving. Leonardo Fornaroli is improving. We've also got the likes of Noel Leon improving as well. Mary Boyer is improving down in 10th place, so that might not be the time to beat just yet. Checkered flag is waving, but some drivers still think they've got something left in the locker. Up towards the final corner we go. Mateusz Zagazzetta through the final corner, that is the number 8. He makes his way up to the start-finish line. Leonardo Fornaroli, can he improve? Not quite. Will we see anyone else improve? Gabriele Mini not quite able to improve either. He closes the gap to Kaz Havercourt, and it looks like that is going to be the time to beat. There were some drivers just trying to throw everything at it on that last lap. Dino Beganovic did get up to 6th place, so he will start at worst 12th on the grid, so that will give him a chance to get inside the points. Here's your order then. Kaz Havercourt going quickest, 1:38.655 from Gabriele Mini in 2nd place. Josh Dufek finished in 3rd. Leonardo Fornaroli in 4th place. Tim Tramnitz in 5th. So Josh Dufek on row number 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing after a fantastic weekend at Zandvoort where he got 10th, got a 6th, but got a penalty. Leonardo Fornaroli, after his 5th last time out, finishes 4th. Tim Tramnitz, a double DNF for him at Zandvoort, but back in the top 10. Our championship leader will start on row 6. Van Hoopen 7th, Boyer 8th, Tangavelo down in 9th, was running up in the top 5 at one stage. Noel Leon 10th, Dudu Barrichello 11th, then it's Zagazzetta, Baptiste, Braschi, Rosso, Wisnicki, Sami Megatunif, all the way down in 17th place, unfortunately. Was challenging, it seemed, for pole position at one stage, but Sami Megatunif did get his last lap time removed, and that has seen him drop down to 17th place. Well, there's the man who's going to start on row number 2. Will it be the inside row? Will it be the outside? We'll find out very shortly in about 15 minutes. This is the man that could be on pole position. Provisional pole for now, 1:38.655 is the time to beat. Kaz Havercourt of Van Amersfoort Racing chasing his first ever pole position. Well, now we take a quick breather and we switch over to Group number B. So Paul Aron's going to be in this one. Josh Dirksen had a fantastic day yesterday, finished 5th in the afternoon practice session. Here's the home hero, Levente Revet's home race for him. Absolutely loving the circuit as well. He said to me yesterday, this race meaning a lot to him. He's got some people here supporting him this weekend. Let's hope for his sake that he can go and have a good one. Paul Aron's going to be in this one. Hadrian David will be in this one. Gabriel Bortoletto, Sebastian Montoya. We'll also have Lorenzo Fluxa out there. Joshua Dirksen, as I said, Maceo Capietto, Roman Belinski, Victor Bernier, Pietro Deligoanti, Esteban Masson quickest yesterday, Santiago Ramos, Levente Revets, Axel Noss, Pietro Armani, and Hamza Al-Khabaisi. There was Kaz Havercourt. What a start to the weekend for him. Well, he's been on form recently. He did have that crash at Zandvoort. He got 2nd in race 1, and then going down towards turn number 1 in race number 2, unfortunately, just picked up front wing damage, a little bit too late on the brakes, just a bit unsighted, unfortunately, and that put him pretty much out the race immediately. However, he did then do a pit stop. After the red flag that we had, he was able to fight his way through from the back of the grid all the way to 15th place. It was an absolutely fantastic drive. Joshua Dirksen was another one who had a brilliant drive last time as well, gained 17 places in race 2 to come from 35th on the grid to 18th, and that's the 2nd best performance we've had in terms of progress. Josh Dufek holds the best in terms of positions made in a race this season with 18. at Monza in the wet with a stunning drive. Here's Lorenzo Fluxa, 14th and 15th last rounds. Double points for him at Paul Ricard. He'll be looking to get back there. Hadrian David is feeling confident this weekend when we went and spoke to him. See if he can have a good one. R-Race GP in general will want to get back on that top step of the podium. They're leading the way in terms of track position in this session. They've gone straight out onto the circuit. Levente Rivets and Axel Noss going out onto the circuit last. In the background, we see the number 4 car of Roman Belinski getting his Polish citizenship. Won't be long before he switches over to a Polish racing license now, was something he wanted for a long time. And Roman Belinski had a great day yesterday, finished 6th in the afternoon. He's never been here before, like a lot of the drivers this weekend. That won't be the case when we go to Spa. That's the only round on the calendar he has been to, and he's won there as well. There we see the number 55 coming down the hill of Pietro Delicawanti, who had a big crash with that man there. So you would have maybe seen footage of the Pietro Delicawanti and Esteban Masson crash at Zandvoort, where Pietro Delicawanti rolled the car and ended up over the fence at Zandvoort at turn 2. I went and spoke to both of them yesterday. I didn't get to speak to Pietro himself, but I spoke to the team. A lot of work needed doing on his car after that. It took them a very long time to get it back in the state that it's in now. But thankfully, they were both okay. They both walked away from the incident. Esteban told me he had just a little bit of pain on his hand, but otherwise, that was it. It was a really close call, but really lucky, both of them, to walk away from what could have been a really big incident. Thankfully, both okay, and that was the main thing about it. There's the number 12, Victor Bernier. Didn't seem too happy yesterday. If you joined us on the Paddock Live, you might have seen that Victor wasn't overly pleased with how things were going this weekend. He had a brilliant weekend last time out, finished 9th in the first race, despite what was a really bad restart. It was on for a rookie win at one stage. And then everything just fell to pieces at the safety car restart right at the end, didn't it? And Victor Bernier eventually was able to get a 9th place, but just doesn't seem to be going his way so far this weekend, he doesn't feel. That said, he finished 13th in the afternoon test session. Let's see how he goes. Santiago Ramos on screen, number 68, had to fight through illness at Zandvoort. It was a really tough weekend for him. Did not feel well at all. But let's see, now he's back to full fitness, if he can get back to some good results this weekend. He's got a best result of 16th so far this season. There's Axel Noss in the number 7 for G4 Racing. Best result of 18th for himself this season back at Imola. See if he can improve on that. You can see they're just weaving to get some heat into those tyres. Time to beat, as I said, 138.655. If that time is beaten, this will be the inside row of the grid. If it's not, then this will be the outside row of the grid. It's as simple as that in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. If you are just joining us, welcome to qualifying. What have you missed so far? We had Group A go out onto the circuit. Really brilliant qualifying session, actually. Kaz Havercourt went quickest overall. His teammate Josh Dufek finishing in 3rd. Gabriele Mini doing a brilliant job to finish in 2nd place. That was your top 3. Dino Beganovic, big story there, was down in 6th place. And that's probably his worst qualifying performance of the season so far. It just goes to show how consistent he's been. So he's going to start from row 6. That's been the stories of qualifying so far. But there will be more, there's no doubt about that. And one thing we learned from Group A is it's really not over until it's over. The checkered flag was waving and we thought, well, that's it. And then more times were rolling in all of a sudden. So we might see them go for one final push lap right at the end. We didn't see many improvements. It's going to be the first few laps where they're going to try and get the most out of these tyres. Let's see what they can do. 9 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Cars coming across the line now to set what should be their first real flying laps. Here's Hadrian David. Currently runs 4th in the championship on 100 points. A weekend that could have been for him at Zandvoort. Finished in 2nd in race 1, got that penalty for using his push-to-pass system before the start-finish line, but he ran Paul Aron all the way to the checkered flag. He'll want to bounce back this weekend and get on the podium. He'll want a double win, just like Paul Aron had. He needs a big point score. If he's going to get into this championship fight, then he needs a double win, really. To do that, he needs to get on pole position. Let's see what he can do. Makes his way now through turn number 9, through the flat-out turn 10, through the gears, and now in towards turn number 11. Chuck the car through, hold on to it, and just about gets through in one piece. Hadrian David now downhill on the brakes in towards turn number 12. You can see fighting with the car there. We've only had the Clios out on track this morning, so there isn't much rubber down at all. The only rubber that's been down is from them and Group A, so the track still will be fairly cold, and there you can see a bit of a lock-up going in towards the final corner. Hadrian David a bit out of shape, comes out of the final corner now across the line, 140.093. We're still about a second and a bit away from the time of Kaz Havikor. This almost a dress rehearsal to the main event. Here's the man who was quickest yesterday. Esteban Masson comes out the final corner now, up to the start-finish line. Will he reflect that pace he had of yesterday? 139.517. Roman Belinski is second, 139.587 for him. Bernier is third, Pietro Deligawanti up to third. Victor Bernier fourth, Hadrian David fifth, Pietro Armani sixth, Capieto seventh, and it's Ramos, Fluxa, Rivets has gone to 10th place. We're yet to see Bortoletto, Montoya, Dirksen and Alcabasi cross the line. Let's keep an eye on them and where they go to in terms of position. On screen you can see Hadrian David making his way now in towards turn number 8. What are the times of Gabriel Bortoletto, Montoya, Dirksen and Aron going to be? They're behind David on track. He's the one that's going to come across the line first and put the marker down for the rest of the field. He makes his way downhill. He's gone quickest through the second sector. Roman Belinski is absolutely flying on this lap as well, so he is one to watch. The Polish driver, definitely got to keep an eye on him. Hadrian David now up to the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Paul Aron has gone quickest. 139.417 for Paul Aron. Hadrian David now comes up to the start-finish line, makes his way down the straight, and he goes quickest. 139.346. What about Roman Belinski? Because he's gone quickest through the second sector. There he is in the top of screen in the blue, red and white car, and he goes quickest. 139.131. How about that from the Polish driver, Roman Belinski, to provisional pole position in this group. We've got to remember they've got to beat that 138.655. So for now, that would put him on P2. There's still time to go though, 5.5 to go in this session. Gabriel Bortoletto has gone to second, 139.264. Masson is third, David is fourth. However, Paul Aron has just gone quickest through the first sector, 36.2 for him. You can see it at the bottom of your screen. We pick up Joshua Dirksen going well, but here he is, the Estonian driver. Paul Aron now comes through turn 11. He's got a target to chase. Good driving from Josh Dirksen to move aside and let Paul Aron go through. He's got an opportunity here. Remember, Beganovic qualified on row number 6. Paul Aron now, if he can get up to the front row, he's got a chance to take a big chunk of points out of his teammate. He'll know that. And that'll make him even more determined than usual to get on pole position. Can he get a hat-trick of poles? He makes his way up to the start-finish line. goes second, 1:39.244. Belinski remains quickest so far. He's on a cool-down lap currently. Okay, do we have anyone else going quicker on this lap? This is Joshua Dirksen coming through the chicane. That looked like it was maybe on his cool-down lap. He's in 11th place so far. Oh, running wide, in fact. So, no, that's why he moved aside then for Aaron. Took too much curb, unsettled the car, and that threw him off into the grass, and Josh Dirksen then had to abort that lap immediately. Still got time to go for another. 4 minutes left. Sebastian Montoya went quicker last time. He's running in 8th place. We also had Santiago Ramos go quicker. He's in 10th place. Pietro Armani and Levente Rivets improved as well. No one going quicker through the first sector yet. In fact, I correct myself because Josh Dirksen has set a personal best, 36.5. So the driver from Paraguay is flying. Here's Roman Belinski. He's the quickest driver so far. He's on a push lap as well, trying to beat his own quickest time. However, he's trying to beat that time of Kaz Havercourt. He's got to find about half a second to do it. And he's gone quicker through the first sector. 36.432 for him. Esteban Masson, 36.4. 36.4 for Hadrian David as well. All of these drivers to keep an eye on. Oh, they're flirting with disaster. Roman Belinski there, a wheel on the grass, somehow hung on to it, kept his foot in, and Roman Belinski keeps going on this lap. Here he comes now through turn number 11, makes his way downhill, and he's going quicker. Purple through the second sector. Roman Belinski on to potentially improve, but only by about half a temp so far. 2 corners left on this lap. Also improving is Lorenzo Fluxa. Pietro Deligoanti is improving. Esteban Masson is improving as well. Timing screens lighting up here with 2.5 minutes to go in Group B. They make their way out the final corner. Roman Belinski up to the line. Can he improve in time? 1:39.2. No, he don't. Does anyone else improve? We've got to look out for the likes of Esteban Masson. Lorenzo Fluxa did not improve in time. Neither did Esteban Masson. He did not improve either. Victor Bernier did improve. He's gone to P11. Joshua Dirksen is P12. He also improved on the last lap. Levente Rivets looks like he's about to improve and does. 140.330 for Axel Noss. Levente Rivets does improve. You might have just seen to the left of the screen, goes up to 13th place. So an improvement there for the driver racing on home soil. Looks like Kaz Havercourt could be on for this first ever pole. However, look at that, Paul Aron, 1.5 tenths quicker through the first 2 sectors. Paul Aron must be coming up towards the final couple of corners because he's only about 15 seconds away from the start-finish line, and we pick him up now. Is Paul Aron about to steal pole position away from Kaz Havercourt? 1:38.6 to beat. Makes his way out the final corner. Can Paul Aron do it? Up to the line he goes. No, but he does go quicker than Belinski, so he goes onto the front row of the grid. 1:38.905. 1 minute to go. He's got one more chance to improve here. Paul Aron. Pietro Deligoanti is improving on this lap. He's just done a really good first sector. 36.281. That is a fantastic first sector from Pietro Deligoanti. However, he's gone slower through the second sector. Roman Belinski gearing up for one more flying lap. Do we see anyone else improve? Pietro Deligoanti, as I said, on a really good lap here. We'll wait for him to come across the line. No one else improving just yet. Pietro Armani did a personal best last time and he's moved up to 10th place, so an improvement there. There goes Victor Bernier, there goes Pietro Deligoanti, does not improve. We watch Paul Aron, this is going to be his last chance to improve. Does not go quicker through the first sector. Hadrian David is improved through the first sector. Kaz Havercourt watching on nervously. Can Paul Aron pull something special out the bag? Joshua Dirksen has just set the fastest far sector. Joshua Dirksen going really, really quickly. Paul Aron, he's taken too much out of his tyres, it seems. He's got absolutely nothing left in them. But all of the top 6, bar Paul Aron, are improving. Belinski, Bortoletto, Masson, David, Deligoanti, they're all improving. Are we going to see any more changes right at the end? Paul Aron through the final corner. Up to the start-finish line he comes. Only himself to beat in this session. Crosses the line, does not improve, so the door has been opened. Joshua Dirksen, what have you got left? Out of the final corner he comes. Up to the start-finish line now. Montoya jumps up to third place. What about Joshua Dirksen? He goes P4. Brilliant driving from him. Hadrian David is next, currently in P7. Where does he go? He goes second, 31,000th back. Across the line comes Gabriel Bortoletto, he goes P3. Matteo Capietto next, P10 for him. There goes Fluxa, he's in 7th place. There goes Belinski, he comes across the line next. Goes to P4. Joshua Dirksen, what an absolutely brilliant time. He pulled out right at the end, but it's going to put him in 7th place. Victor Bernier goes across the line, P10. Esteban Masson jumped up to 5th place. Right at the death there. Axel Noss comes across the line and moves up to 14th, dropping Levente Rivets to 15th. Pietro Armani moves up to 12th place. Levente Rivets stays in 15th as he crosses the commentary box window. But Paul Aron, quickest in this session. It's not going to be overall pole position, but it is going to be a front row start for the Estonian. 138.905. Hadrian David will start from the second row of the grid. Row 3 will be Gabriel Bortoletto. Roman Belinski will start from row 4, and Esteban Masson will start inside the top 10. Just outside it, in what was a fascinating qualifying session, will be Sebastian Montoya. Joshua Dirksen will be on row number 7. Row 8 will be Lorenzo Fluxa. Pietro Deligoanti, row 9. Victor Bernier, row 10. Row 11 will be Santiago Ramos. Then it will be Pietro Armani, Matteo Capietto, Axel Noss, Levente Rivets, and Hamda Al-Kabasi. Incredibly close, 2.5 tenths between the top 6 in that session. Less than half a second between the top 9. It was incredibly close out there. Very, very hard to keep up with, wasn't it? But Paul Aron going quickest, but that means for the first ever time, Kaz Havercourt will start from pole position. Join us for the race at 1:55.